Hey everybody, it's Mitch, and welcome to my character profile. Today we will be talking about Shikamaru Nara. Alright, now, Shikamaru is a very interesting character. He's from the anime series Naruto, and of course Naruto Shippuden. He's one of my favorites. What I like about Shikamaru is, well, I can relate to him a lot. He's smart, but lazy. Yeah. But anyways, that's really the best way to describe him: smart and lazy. Because Shikamaru is a genius. Like seriously, he can come up with a strategy very, very well. He's an expert strategist, um, but he's insanely lazy. And his catchphrase, at least in the English version, is "What a drag." He's always saying that. It's everything's a drag with him because he just doesn't like doing anything really. Is that's just Shikamaru. He doesn't like doing stuff. So well, he's kind of a side character, so there's not as much to say about him as other characters because there's not as much known. His best friend is Choji Akamichi, um, and he's teamed up with Ino as well. I can remember her last name, her surname, is technically it's the other way around. But anyways, Ino, Shikamaru, and Choji are all part of the same squad, and their families actually all have kind of a bond together because really their abilities complement each other very well. It's the legendary Ino Shikacho formation. Blech, I can't talk, but incredibly powerful. Shikamaru uses his Shadow Possession Jutsu, Choji uses his Expansion Jutsu, and uses her Mind Transfer Jutsu. Now, when used together, it's actually insanely powerful and can do quite a few different things. There's a lot of different ways to use this formation. It's just very good in a lot of different ways. But Shikamaru, he has the Shadow Possession Jutsu. Now, the Shadow Possession Jutsu is, well, basically, he connects your shadow with his shadow, and then he can control your body by moving his body that way. That's the basic Shadow Possession Jutsu. He also gains things like the Shadow Strangle Jutsu and a few others similar to that, where he can actually choke you with the shadows or um, move things around with the shadows themselves. So really, he becomes quite versatile. But originally, it's just a simple Shadow Possession Jutsu where, however he moves, his opponent moves. Um, so yeah, that's his basic jutsu. It's quite useful though. Well, let's look at Shikamaru himself and how he's done in in the show. The first time you really get a good glimpse of Shikamaru is in the preliminary rounds of the Chunin exam. Um, in the first round, you see not a whole lot, really. He basically just gets the answers from who stole them from Sakura. Then the second round, basically he's just hiding out for most of the time, and then he runs and helps. He decides to help out Naruto's team because Sakura is the one fighting, and and Sakura used to be friends. So you see a little bit there, and he's the one kind of spearheading that because Ino's supposedly in charge, but Shikamaru's really the one in control of things. He comes up with all the strategies and then lets Ino pick, but I mean he's pretty much the one in charge. But like I say, the preliminaries is when you really first see how he works. Um, well, what happens is he fights against Keen, and basically he gets there with the Shadow Possession Jutsu by stretching his shadows really thin underneath the thread, which she didn't even notice that thread shouldn't produce a shadow, so she didn't even catch that she was too busy on the offensive. And then he threw a shuriken at her, which she of course threw one at him. They both ducked, and Shikamaru was smart and made sure she was close to the wall and he wasn't. So he ducked, was fine. She ducked, slammed her head into the wall, out cold. Um, then later you see his fight against Tamari, where basically he leads her throughout the entire fight, um, so that he can dip his shadow into a hole that Naruto created in a previous round, pull it out the other end of the hole, and hit her from behind with it. And then right when he had her where he wanted her, he gave up. Then later, he goes up against Tayuya when he's facing off again when they're trying to get Sasuke back, and he ends up holding her off for a while. He does some pretty cool tricks. I forget exactly what the trick he did was. I think he threw a kunai at her and missed on purpose so that she would grab it and come at him with close combat because he knew she didn't have any other weapons because she was stupid and told him that. Yeah, and he even memorized her finger patterns. He figured out how the puppets moved. He had no talent for music, so he couldn't figure it out by the notes. So instead, he did it based on her finger motion to tell how they were moving. Because the guy's just that freaking crazy. Um, so yeah, he ends up being this. I mean, he's just smart. You don't see much of him throughout the rest of Naruto. I mean, it's mostly fillers after that. Then when you really see him again is when he really takes over Shippuden. Right around the time Asuma dies, it it gets really you really see Shikamaru shine because well he comes up with a perfect revenge plot to get Hidan. I mean Hidan is a freaking immortal voodoo doll. Uh, I mean that's really what he is. He's not that strong otherwise. He's pretty dumb too. Really, his only skill is the fact that he's an immortal voodoo doll. So he finds a way to use that against him and actually take Hidan down. And it was pretty impressive how he did it. He actually even tricked Hidan into killing his partner Kakuzu once. So pretty cool and pretty impressive how he pulled that off. That's actually one of my favorite parts of Naruto is when Shikamaru was taking those guys down. I just love Shikamaru. He's a great guy. He's one of my favorite characters. Um, but that's really all there is to say about him. I mean, you see a bit more of him in the war when he fights against the I forget what they're called, the Gold and Silver Brothers. That's it. And then against Asuma when they get revived. That's a little bit of spoilers if you haven't seen the English version, because it's not that far in English yet. But anyways, yeah, it's a really good. You really get to see him shine a lot more. But that's more of the group shining than anything. But anyways, that's about all I have to say about Shikamaru. So if there's anything you want to add or anything you want to say or anything really, feel free to leave a comment. Please like my video. Please subscribe to my channel. I could really use the support. Anyways, I'm Mitch. I'll be seeing you.